All right, back on Sportsbit, betting inside today, deep dive, college football, every money. What's that smell? What's it? Money! 4-1 week for us, 17-7-1 on the football season. And the bad beat, here was our loser, Michigan. What the hell? 3 missed field goals. They dominated the game when you look at the yards, and the only Wisconsin touchdown set up off a great interception in a short field. Hornibrook had no chance against that suffocating Michigan defense.
No, I mean, Wisconsin had 7 first downs and 159 total yards, and they covered the spread because of the missed field goals, and also because of that. And this is the worst thing when the guy makes the interception of the year in college football, and you're going, no, you freaking no, just drop it. It's 4th down. We're gonna get it 1st and goal. And did you see how Harbaugh did that? By the way, Michigan got the ball back with 2:15 left, and Harbaugh burned every second of that 2:15. Perfect time management. Tough beat, obviously, if you had the Wolverines, a game they dominated, but didn't cash.
Well, why did Harbaugh do that?
Because he was smart. It's a 1-score game.
Remember the Michigan State game last year?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, where they screwed it up with 1 second left.
Yep. Here's some bad bets if you're paying your college coach a lot of money. Oh, my God. How about Texas, USC, Oregon, LSU, Penn State, and Auburn all could be open at the same time?
Yeah. Which job do you want?
Tom? Hey, if you're Tom Herman's agent, oh my God.
And do you want that? The question is, do you want any of these jobs? And let's be true about it, okay? Tom Herman can be coach for the next 10 years in Houston, and they can go 5-7 every year. If you go to Texas, guess what? You get 3 years, and if you don't win 10 games, the 3rd year you're fired. Same thing at USC, same thing at Oregon, same thing at LSU, same thing at Penn State, same thing at Auburn. So any one of these jobs is going to come with an enormous amount of pressure to win right away. And the leagues we're talking about, not easy leagues, especially those SEC schools, but the Pac-12, the Pac-12 is not easy to win. Penn State's got to go against Michigan and Michigan State and Ohio State. I mean, it's not easy at any of those jobs, and the expectations, the alumni and the fans through the roof. No winning solution. If I'm Tom Herman, I sit right where I am at Houston, happy and content and making millions of dollars a year anyway.
Especially if they get in the Big 12. You got that right. All right, explain this, the pick 6 for Pittsburgh on the final play.
Oh, my God. Pitt's, it's a 4th and 24 from the Marshall 11-yard line, and boom, Pitt gets the pick 6. That was a total that was bet from 70 down to 57. It was easily the steam play of the week among total. The pick 6 equals all of that under money. Failed to cash. Over comes through. Pitt still didn't cover. They were laying 16.5. Won by only 16, but brutal beat if you had a good number and an under in that ball game.
What did you think of the 3 top 10 matchups? All 3 home teams won. Washington destroyed Stanford. You said they're the better team and they were going to prove it. Michigan gets by Wisconsin, and it maybe the game of the year, Louisville and Clemson, up and down, back and forth. And Clemson came up with the defensive stops to hang on, and they blew an 18-point lead.
Yeah, but remember we talked about it on our preview edition, where guess what? Clemson has seen a quarterback in practice every day that's like Lamar Jackson. So they'd seen a quarterback with ridiculous speed and a huge arm before, and that's how they got, I think, that final stop of the ball game.
Yes, great job by Washington too. That was a hell of a performance on Friday night.
That was dominant. I mean, that one was easy. That one was felt over by halftime.
Yep. All right, plenty of bad bets. Alabama laying 34, bet up to 37. Saban doesn't care about margin. They struggled. Well, by their definition, they just got the win and got out of there against Kentucky and Florida. Well, hard to cover 14 when you score 13.
Yeah, and of course, Alabama took a ton of money. Florida took a ton of money in that ballgame. That was, one of the biggest recreational player bets of the week. What about A&M? A&M took a ton of money. They were bet from -17 to -20, despite Myles Garrett being out. They only scored 24, never really sniffed a point spread cover in their 24-13 win. And Boise, ton of Boise money, -20.5 up to -24.5. But like Florida, can't cover 24.5 if you only score 21. Boise, not enough offense to get past Utah State with a cover. All of those games burning money, just like the logo.
Here's a tip on Boise too. Especially when they're at home, they kind of play slow and they take things down a notch. So they're putting up these high totals. they never have a chance, and Boise's slowing it down. And then that total never had a shot in that one either. Hey, my one of my win totals up in flames here early. Iowa loses again, laying 11 at home to Northwestern. My God, I can burn that ticket.
Yeah, ton of bad bets. Iowa minus 11 loses outright. How about Rutgers? They were plus 39 at Ohio State. They lost that game 58-0. How about that total? It bet up from 58 to 59.5. Tough when your team scores 58 and you can't cash an over 59 ticket. That's brutal. But then again, Rutgers was outgained by 550 yards in that game.
Yes. Yes. Duke, a bad bet. Mendenhall gets the win at Virginia.
Yeah, Duke was minus 3, and the books actually did pretty poorly on this game. There was a fair bit of Virginia money, but none of the magic that the Blue Devils showed against Notre Dame carried over in a pretty ugly home loss.
Yep, Purdue never had a shot, plus 11. They lost 50-7, and Florida State got beat at home. Trubisky delivers with another great drive after they had an extra point blocked, and then the kid came back from 54. He nails it and does the tomahawk chop up and down the field.
Nothing but net, man. And Trubisky, that's back-to-back game-winning drives late in the fourth quarter, facing adversity. Remember, the reason they were down 1 is because they had a blocked point after on the touchdown with like 2.5 minutes left. I'm really impressed with Mitch Trubisky. I like his mentality. I like his gutsiness. And certainly North Carolina is exceeding points spread expectations right now with Florida State. A pretty bad bet on Saturday.
Baylor minus 17 was a horrible bet. They never had a shot. They're lucky to win the game, 45-42 against Iowa State. And Charlie Strong, you better fix your defense. Get organized quick. Oh, they were blown out by Oklahoma State.
Yeah, I mean, plus, and there was a ton of Texas money, plus 3.5, down through the 3, down to 2.5 at Okie State. Mac Brown didn't leave the cupboard full. Guess what, Longhorn fans? Give it a couple years. If you want a successful program, give it some time. I don't think firing Charlie Strong right now is going to help Texas moving forward.
Yep, and you can go on your running back rant again. I know the bad news. Well, the people freaked out when Fournette was out, but we liked Orgeron firing Cam Cameron, taking over, and they drubbed Missouri.
Yeah, I mean, again, the markets are worried about running backs. Missouri was plus 13. Oh, Fournette's not going to play. All the Missouri money rolls in, plus 12, 11.5 in the spots. Well, let's see. Darius Geis runs for 163 yards and 3 touchdowns, 9.6 yards per carry. Darrell Williams runs for 130 yards and 3 touchdowns at 6.3 yards per carry. No, I'm not worried about running backs. When a running back is hurt and the line moves, take advantage of it. The backups are every bit as good.
Second year in a row, Washington State off to a bad start, and the Pirate has them turning it around. Oregon, never in the game, Oregon, in that one.
And they took a ton of money. They were bet from -1 to -3 at Wazoo. Two programs. I'm not going to say the programs are headed in opposite directions right now, but I think it's going to be Helfer's going to have a hard time surviving this, especially given what happened in their bowl game last December.
It should be a midseason firing. All right, bad for the books. Memphis, Ole Miss over, and Colorado does it again.
Yeah, the Buffs make the coaches poll top 25, which I happen to notice there was a headline about it. Otherwise, I would never look at those things. But I think they deserve it. Colorado took a ton of money, and Memphis, out of Memphis, Ole Miss over, was bet from 65.5 to 71, fell 76. All that over money cashes.
Heavy money for Indiana. They knew what they were doing there. They win outright against Michigan State, and the shenanigans in the Penn State-Minnesota game.
Oh, yeah, that total bounced from 54.5 to 56.5 and 56 and 55. It ends up landing 55 in overtime. Wherever you made a bet over or under on that game, most people ended up pushing or winning. Not a good result for the house.
Either was the Oklahoma win over TCU. They had a big lead. It was 49-46, and they held on.
Yeah, it actually could have been worse for the books because the Sooners bet up from -1 to -3.5. If the game was sitting on 3 relatively late, and that would have been a very bad outcome for the house. The fact that the Sooners win and cover is still a bad outcome, but not as bad as if the game would have fallen 3.
They were going batshit in Georgia. Oh my God, Tennessee gets beat on a 40-yard touchdown late in the game, and then the Hail Mary for Tennessee, they win it, and they don't have to kick the extra point. They walk off. See you guys.
Yeah, and they don't have to do that on a game-winning play in college football. And boy, there was a lot of Tennessee money at halftime. Maybe the most obvious second half play of the day on Saturday. I mean, this is now the third time that the Vols have shown us. And remember, they were covering the second half spread before the Hail Mary to win the game. But this is a Tennessee team that's shown us multiple times this year. They respond well to adversity. Betting on Tennessee facing a halftime deficit looks so far at least like a money-winning proposition. Though a lot of Vols money bet from 3 to 4.5 and back to 3.5. The no point after, which was probably a very good result for the house, being that at that game. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. The bottom line is the point after would have been a disaster.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts. Shop for lines at SBRodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.
Hey guys, for the full video, go to SBRpicks.com.